What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? Welcome to the sixth Speaking Industry Expo is now live. Today is the launch of the Speaking Industry Expo. And if you have been watching my feed over the last week, you see I've been dropping some hints about what is to come and is now here. It is now here. So I wanted to come on live today to tell you all about the six, what it is, who it's for, why it even came up. What is the six? Like, what is the six? I had a friend ask me yesterday, Kelly, what is the six? I know that it means something because you don't do anything unintentionally. You do things strategically. So what is the six? So I'm going to tell you all about that today. And I am so excited about this. Let me just give you a little bit of how we got here in terms of why I'm doing the six as a in-person event. So last year, and I've mentioned this before on my feed and also like in newsletters and stuff, last year towards probably around the last quarter of the year, I started feeling like wasn't doing all of the things that I really wanted to be doing, and was, in search of like, what is going to bring me joy. And I kept thinking about all of the things that I have done in my life and, what I have accomplished. And one of the things that I realized is that I am most happy when I am planning some type of event and I am amplifying other people, right? Those are the things that truly bring me joy. And last year, I had the great honor of putting on my Iconic Talks conference with 7 of my clients. And I realized that every time that I watch like video snippets of that, I just get so excited. I just get truly excited. And so I have been on a journey, a quest really to figure out what it is I want to do and how I want to really serve and work with brilliant people, mostly women, right? Mostly women are my clients. Not that I don't work with men, but mostly my clients end up being women. I really amplify, affirm, and elevate their voices and their expertise. So welcome to the sixth Speaking Industry Expo, because this is how I have decided that I am going to move that dream and vision forward. So let me quickly tell you, and I'll give you a lot of detail today, but I just want to give you an overview of the six. So what is the six? The reason it's called the six is because, one, I wanted it to have a nickname. And two, if you look at the name, Speaking Industry Expo, it's SIX. So the expo is not spelled with an E, it's just XPO. But there is a deeper meaning to the six, and I'm gonna talk to you about that. So the six is part expo, so trade show, part speaker showcase, and part business incubator. And I'll talk about all of those in a little bit. But let me tell you, before I get into the weeds and get into the nitty gritty about the six and how you can participate, this is how it came to me. So I was in Austin in March at South by Southwest. If you've never been to South by Southwest, it is a vibe. It is a whole thing. It is overwhelming. It is a lot. But one of the things that they have at the at South by Southwest is they have, of course, they have all of the sessions that you can go to, like too many to count. And they also have a huge expo hall. And I've been to other expo halls. I've been to trade shows. I've been to other things. But for some reason, I went to this trade show in the expo hall, and I was walking around and just looking and just really taking in all that was there. And I walked out of the expo hall, and all of a sudden, like, just dropped in my spirit. Like, I mean, y'all hear me tell you this all the time, that spirit tells me things, but it dropped in my spirit that, Kelly, the speaking industry does not have a trade show. It doesn't. The speaking industry does not have a trade show. There's no space where speakers, trainers, coaches, consultants, where you're the focus, where your businesses are really on display. Now, I know some people are going to be like, oh, but Kelly, we got these conferences and we have speaker showcases. And I know that. I know that because I've been to them, right? But here's the thing. When you go to a conference, so there's many conferences that relate to speakers. When you go to those conferences, yes, they may give you a table, or go sell your books, or you go to a conference and there's all of these businesses that are there that are in the expo hall, right? So I've spoken at these conferences. So there's businesses in the expo hall. When you go to those businesses, especially if you're somebody who speaks in an industry specific niche, you go into those expo halls, and the businesses that are there to support other businesses, meaning they're, let's use HR for example. So I speak at HR conferences. When you go into those expo halls, who's there? There's insurance companies, there's recruiting companies, there's software companies, there's all these companies that deal with bigger businesses, right? Dealing with employee relations. You don't find, very rarely do you find speaking businesses, speakers, trainers, coaches, and consultants in there, or companies that support them. Now, there is the National Speakers Association who has influence, and yes, they do have they have other vendors who are in there who support our speaking businesses. However, the speakers are not in there. The speakers are not in there as businesses. So you'll keep hearing me say about businesses, because the idea of the six is to shift perspectives around what a business is. And what I've found is that we are often treated, speakers, trainers, coaches, consultants, I'll just use experts as a catch-all for this. Experts are treated as entertainment, we're treated as education, but we're not treated as businesses. So from the industry perspective, right, quote unquote, the speaking industry's perspective, we're there to just give information, right? We're there to provide education. However, because they don't look at us as businesses, they don't budget us. They don't put us in their budgets in terms of paying us. They put everything else. Everything else is a line item in their budget, right? Whether it's food, coffee, snacks, swag, the big name who draws people in, but not the people who actually provide the education that is necessary, especially for all of these associations, to keep their members, because they need that education to get their credits. And the reason that they're in these organizations is so that they can keep up their certifications, right? So there is a business reason that they're there. However, the experts who are brought in to provide that knowledge are not treated like businesses. And so, because we're not treated like businesses, we are not a line item on anybody's budget, including, so I'm talking about the industry, but including our own. So, I want to shift the perspective around those who hire us to come in. And I want to also shift your perspective. So, experts, come to the front. Come to the front. You speakers, trainers, coaches, and consultants. Y'all are brilliant. But you're not just talent, you run a business. You run a business. And therefore, if you run a business, the business needs money to sustain itself. So you need to get paid. So you have to also think of yourself as a business. Too often, all you think of is yourself as talent. So I'm talent. I want to be on stage. Oh, you want me to be on stage? Oh, great. What you gonna give me? Nothing? Oh, okay, I'll still do it anyway. And you come in and you get on stage. And this is why, because there's too many of you out here who will just do it for free. And this is why the industry doesn't think that they have to account for us in their budgets. So the idea of the six is to put some respect on our names, to bring revenue into our businesses, and to reposition the thought process around everyone, experts and industry alike, about who we are and what it is that we do. So that's the idea behind the six, is really to ensure that we understand that we're a business. Now, yes, there are also speaker showcases, right? So going back to, why it's not the same. Yes, there are speaker showcases. So particularly, so there's bureaus that do speaker showcases. There are the colleges and universities, they do a lot of speaker showcases. But again, you go to these showcases and you present on stage, which is amazing. And then you get off stage. But what happens when you get off stage? When you get off stage, you're basically going to apply for jobs, right? And, yes, there will be some of you who are just amazing on stage. And so whoever's in the audience is going to come to you. But for the most part, when you all get off that stage, you have to go in the back or go wherever they've set up, and they are set up, not you, to go and, try to apply for a job, essentially. Right. And so I want to shift that dynamic and have it be that when you are on stage, and we'll talk about the opportunity at the six for you to be on stage, when you are on stage, when you come off, that in the expo hall, your business is set up there so that people can come and talk to you, and you can sell your services and your products and talk about your business, so that you feel that there is some type of power balance, right? Because that's part of it, that there is a power imbalance that some of you feel. And so therefore you don't think that you can ask for the things because there's this business that you're negotiating with, and you're over here as an individual person, but you're not. You are a business. It is a business to business transaction. So speaking of business to business, one of the things that's really important to me in this experience of the six of the Speaking Industry Expo is that we actually have a B2B growth ecosystem. So the six is the nickname, the six is the acronym for Speaking Industry Expo, but the six is also our B2B growth ecosystem. So let me tell you about that. And I'm going to show you this. So when I talk about the six, and I'm talking about the 6 parts of this B2B growth ecosystem. So who's in this B2B growth ecosystem? Who's in the six? Well, we have our experts who I've been talking about, right? So this conference, it's not a conference, I don't know why I say conference, this trade show, it's a first of its kind, actually, trade show for the speaking industry. This trade show, this speaker showcase, this business incubator is built with a focus on experts. So speakers, coaches, consultants, and trainers who speak as part of their business. That could either be you full time, that's what you do is speak, or you speak in some way you leverage speaking in some way to develop your business, build your leads, to generate leads in your business. So you either get paid to speak, or you're speaking to get paid, or you're doing both. So you are part of the ecosystem, right? You're part of the six. The other part of the six, obviously, is our sponsors, who are brands and platforms that support growth and visibility. We can't do all of what we do without people to support us. And so sponsors are also part of our growth ecosystem. And so excited that out of the gate, we have two sponsors. So we have Sister RN and Friends, which is a nonprofit, and they are one of our sponsors. And also Captivate, which is a podcast hosting platform, captivate.fm, and they're also one of our sponsors right out the gate. So I'm very excited about that, and obviously looking for more sponsors. But sponsors, so experts are part of the six, sponsors are part of the six. Exhibitors are also part of the six. So exhibitors are service providers who offer tools, systems, and solutions that help experts scale. It's anybody who really who supports this industry. So if you have a product or service that supports this industry, then you are a perfect person, a perfect business, a perfect partner for us in terms of being an exhibitor. And sponsors can also exhibit. So just depending on the level of sponsorship. The other part of our ecosystem, which is vitally important to our ecosystem, are our decision makers. So those are our event organizers, our corporate buyers, and program leads. Anybody who is scouting talent, anybody who is hiring talent. You are a very important part of our ecosystem, obviously, because we want to be on stages. We want to be in your corporations, training your teams and your leaders. And so obviously, decision makers are important. You're so important that you get to come to the event for free. You get to come to the event for free. You just have to submit a request and you are in. And that means that you get to come to the entire event, all the days of the event for free. So those are our decision makers. The next part of our ecosystem are our attendees. Who are our attendees? People who are leaders, learners, entrepreneurs. So we're talking about the same speakers, coaches, consultants, and trainers. You don't necessarily want to be on stage. You don't necessarily want to have a booth in the expo. And, perhaps you're just not ready yet, or, you just don't want to, but you still are part of our ecosystem. So you can come and attend, and there's different options for you to attend. And then the sixth part of the ecosystem is the visionary, which is me. I am the creator of the six and the architect of this entire ecosystem. And so I built this again so that it's not just another conference where you go to just get information and you get excited and you get inspired and you leave. Those do nothing for us, right? They don't shift perspectives. And my goal is always about transforming, creating intrigue, transforming an audience, and shifting perspectives. And that's what we are going to do at the six. So let's talk about the layout of the six. What will that look like? So it is either 1, 2, or 3 days, depending on how you choose to participate. So if you just want to attend the six, you can attend the six by going through one of these paths. So you can do the entire 3 days. That's called our mogul ticket. The mogul ticket is day one, you have a 4-hour, and all of this is in person and live, 4-hour mastermind with me. And we'll, be working on things that nobody else is going to be working on. So that's going to be a special time, and that's limited. The amount of space for that is very limited because I want it to be intimate. So there is a mogul ticket that gives you access to all 3 days. There is a 2-day ticket. The 2-day ticket gives you access to what we are calling our business incubator and also to the speaker showcase. So let's talk about the business incubator. The business incubator this is training, right? This is the training part of our event. However, it's not just training. You're not just coming to take notes. They're actually going to be implementation labs, and that's why it's called an incubator. Like you, I've been to many, many events, conferences, whatever, and I get there and I'm so excited and I take notes either on a notebook or in my phone, and I'm like, yeah, I'm getting ready to go do this. And I leave and life and I do nothing. And so I want to make sure that when you come to the 6 and you spend time and you're learning, that you're also going to be implementing. So we have specific labs that we're going to work through. So around sales and operations and pricing and positioning and all kinds of stuff that we're going to be doing. And you're actually going to leave with assets that you can use in your business. Yes, you are going to leave with something, not just a bag full of trinkets and postcards and things, but you're actually going to leave with things that you can then go and use in your business. So that's the business incubator. That is day 2. At the end of day 2, we are also going to have some fun. And they'll all be fun because I like to have fun. But at the end of day 2, we are going to have our opening reception. And at that opening reception, we'll have a DJ, have some other stuff planned. But that's just going to be a good time for everybody to get to know each other, to be able to walk around and meet people in the expo, get connections. So, if you have a booth, or we'll have some booths, and we'll have a few tables that you can also have, then people can come and talk to you and learn about your business, and you can collect your leads and do what you do, sell your business, market yourself. This is a whole marketing opportunity inside of this trade show. Day 3 is our speaker showcase, and this is our Iconic Talks speaker showcase. So last year I did Iconic Talks. We did it live in terms of the speakers were all live with me in studio, and then it was put out virtually to the audience. This time is all live in person. You get to be on stage. You get to be in front of the people. You get to get professional video and photos. So that is day 3, the speaker showcase, and we'll have some other like training things and panels and things in there. We're going to make this really interactive. My idea is for this to be really interactive, and that everybody who comes, no matter what part of the ecosystem you are in, that you will leave with something, right? That you're not just going to leave. You didn't just come and then you're like, oh, no, everybody's going to leave with something. The other thing that so let me finish this thought. So you can do a 3-day ticket, which is Mogul, which has all of those things. You can do a 2-day ticket, which has the business incubator day and then the speaker showcase day. Or you can do a 1-day ticket where you can choose to either just come to the business incubator or just come to the showcase. When you go online, speakingindustryexpo.com, as you see scrolling across the bottom, when you go online, all of that is laid out for you, right? So you'll see it all there. You can choose. If you are a decision maker or you are somebody in the media who wants to cover the event, you all get to come for free. You just have to request. If you are somebody who wants to sponsor, right, to help us really put on this event and be a sponsor, there's all kinds of sponsorship options available to you. They range in price from, I think, the low 3 figures. I think there's also like you could support. So there's like, you can, from $50 on up, there's a way for you to support us, right? So if you can't come, but you want to support us in some way, go to the sponsors page and you'll see that there are a bunch of dedicated sponsorships where you can purchase. One, for example, if you can't come, but you think that this would be great for someone, you could sponsor somebody to come. right? You could really sponsor somebody to come to the event. So those are the ways that you can attend the event. That's a way that you can sponsor the event. If you want to not be a sponsor, but you want to be an exhibitor, meaning you want to have your business in the expo hall, then you can also you can also exhibit, and you'll see that information also. So there are booths from 8x8 to 10x10. And then there are also a limited number of 6-foot tables that we will have in the expo hall. So you just need to go to the sponsor and exhibit tab on the website, and you can find all of the information there, and you can purchase right there. You don't have to go through anything. You could purchase right there. We'll get the information. We'll follow up with you. So you could do that right online. Same thing with the sponsorships. You can purchase directly. If you want to see everything in one place, the tickets, the sponsorships, everything, go to the shop tab on the website at speakingindustryexpo.com/shop. Actually, is it /shop? I think it has its own page. I think it's speakingindustryexpo.shop. Y'all listen, it's been a lot. But anyway, if you go on the regular website, there is a tab at the top that says shop. You just click on there. Everything is there. Everything is in the shop. You could purchase multiple things, put them in your cart, and go. I'm trying to make it as easy as I can, and I'm crossing my fingers that everything behind the scenes is set up properly. If it's not, if there's a glitch, listen, y'all, if there's a glitch, if you see anything, can you let me know? Let a sister know. Fix her crown. Don't let me just be out here, right? Because I'm hoping everything is put together. So let me see what else. What else do I want to make sure that you know? The big thing. How can I forget? Okay, call for speakers. Call for speakers. So many of you, one of the reasons that you are not being paid and paid the value that you need to be paid is because you don't have the asset. You don't have the things to show that you really do know how to speak, that your business is set up in a way that, you know, you should be commanding 5 figures. And so maybe 6 figures. So we have a call for speakers. So I mentioned the Iconic Talk Speaker Showcase, which will be on day 3. We are looking for 12 speakers. 12. Now, if you know anything about me, and my clients will tell you, I'm very particular. And so this is going to be a curated experience, meaning that you got to show up and show out. Like, we're not just putting any and everybody on the stage. You don't just get to pay and be on stage. That's not how this works. There is a whole process. So if you want to be on the showcase stage, then I need you to go to speakingindustryexpo.com, go to the call for speakers page. The deadline to apply is June 16th. So there is an application process, there is a virtual audition process, and then there is the selection. Now, here's a couple of things. One, yes, you have to apply, and there is a $25 processing fee for the application. 2, we will use those applications to choose who is going to come to the virtual auditions. So please, please, please make sure that you take your time to complete the application. Then there'll be the virtual auditions, and all of this information again is on the site. There'll be a virtual audition, and then after the virtual audition, we will select the 12 speakers. Here's what you need to know. So before you even apply, I need you to know this. If you are selected as one of the 12 speakers, you must have a booth. You must have a booth in the expo hall. So yes, there is a cost. So there is two levels. One is, you'll see there's 2 levels. One is 750, I believe it is, and the other is 1,200. It is what it is, right? And what you get with that, you'll see, like if you go to the page, you'll see exactly what you get for that. So this is thinking about this as a marketing investment. So for those of you who don't have video on stage, who don't have professional photos, who don't have your testimonials, right? Who have never had the opportunity to really set up your business in a way that people come and you can have all of your brochures and your books and whatever it is that you have, set up your booth the way you want to set it up, right? I want you to show up brilliantly and powerfully so that you can have people come and speak to you, as opposed to you trying to go out there and find everybody and try to email and DM and do all the things. You'll have your space. Think of it as having your own little storefront at the 6th, but that is a requirement. So when you go to complete the application, you'll see there's a link and there's a document that explains everything that we expect, what we'll do for you, what we expect of you. And if you know me, I do everything in excellence. So my clients last year, they got amazing video and photos. And they weren't on a big stage, right? They were on a big stage in terms of a big virtual stage, and they had all the, the TV monitors and et cetera, but you're going to be on an actual live stage in front of a live audience. So I know that there's other opportunities where they give you, these, they give you stage time. But some of it is not a real audience. This is going to be a real audience. You get to present your topic. So there's no theme. There's a theme for the event, which is amplify, affirm, elevate, but there's no theme in terms of what you have to fit into. I am showcasing you as for your expertise. So whatever it is that you talk about, whether you're a speaker, trainer, coach, or consultant, whether you want to get paid to speak or speak to get paid, if you have your signature presentation, you'll have a 10-minute slot. So in the speaker showcase, each speaker has a 10-minute slot. 10 minutes is a lot of time. And so if you have any questions, so you can apply right now. And I would encourage you to apply, immediately if you're thinking about it, because as I said, there's only going to be 12 slots available. But if you have questions, I am going to do an info session. Let me look at my calendar. I think the info session is May 22nd. May 22nd, I am doing, and is it May 22nd? No, May 22nd, I'm doing Lord, my brain. May 22nd, I am doing a free masterclass, which you might want to come to. But May 29th, I think, is the day of the info session. May 29th, I believe, is the info session. Anyway, it's on the website. I've just been doing a lot, y'all. May 29th is the info session. I believe it's on. So it'll be live on Zoom. I'll be there to answer any and every question that you have about the speaker showcase. So if you are considering it, but you're not really sure, one, I tell you to apply anyway, and then two, come to the info session. If you are selected, that $25 goes towards your booth. If you are not selected, then that goes towards whatever level ticket that you want. And one of the things that you get is that you get an extra ticket. So all the speakers get the mogul access. So you get access to all 3 days, right? That's a $1,500 value. So that's more than you pay for your ticket, for your being in the showcase and having your booth. You also get an additional ticket, a 2-day admission ticket that you can give to anyone. So you can bring someone with you. I know what it's like to have like a booth or a table or something and you don't have anybody with you. And, if you're speaking or if you're trying to, walk around and like, you're stuck if you're stuck at your booth. So one of the things that you do get is you do get an extra ticket that you can give to whoever you want to give it to. So this is going to be nothing like what is out there. My mission, my goal is for this to be the trade show of the speaking industry, for this to be an annual event, for this to get just bigger and bigger and better. And so here's your opportunity, everyone, whether you're a speaker, trainer, coach, consultant, whether you're a decision maker, an event planner, meeting professional, whether you are somebody who has a business that supports speakers, trainers, coaches, consultants, supports this knowledge driven economy. If you are any of those people, or you are a speaker, trainer, coach, consultant, and you need to get your stuff together, you need to build your business, or you're like me when I was transitioning out of the practice of law and wanting to come into the speaking business, I wish I had something like this where I could just go, get it, put all my stuff together, meet the people I need to meet, and hit the ground running. So if that's you, you need to be at the 6, speakingindustryexpo.com. Make sure that you're there. And I want to make sure that I have told you everything that I wanted to tell you. Oh, I didn't even tell you the date. November 3rd through the 5th. It's November 3rd through the 5th in Atlanta. And November 3rd through the 5th in Atlanta. I should have put that on the banner. But speakingindustryexpo.com, whether you spell it with an E or just the X, it'll get you there. But it is really speakingindustryexpo.com. All of the information is there, November 3rd through the 5th in Atlanta. The host hotel is the Atlanta Marriott Northeast. And again, we are looking for 12 amazing speakers for the speaker showcase. So make sure that you go to the call for speakers page and submit your application. We are looking for businesses who want to sponsor, individuals who want to sponsor. We have larger number sponsorships, right, in the 5 figures. And we also have dedicated sponsorships that are 2, 3, and 4 figures. Right. So it just depends on how you want to support. If there's anything that I've ever done for you, if I've ever poured into you in some way, I'm asking you to support me in getting this vision off the ground and into fruition November 3rd through 5th in Atlanta. If you're someone who says, Kelly, I'd also like to support you in some way, maybe it's on site, maybe as a volunteer or something, then let me know that too. If you have any ideas or thoughts that you're like, oh, Kelly, did you think of this? I'm open. I'm always open to hearing things. Most importantly, I am asking for your support. I am asking for your buy-in to the 6. This is something I keep talking about, the industry, and that they should pay us and they need to put some respect on our name. And I could talk about it or I could do something about it. And the 6 is my way of doing something about it. If you know anything about me, you know that I am a person who likes to activate and not just motivate. So that's what the 6 is all about. I'm Kelly Charles Collins. I'm the creator. I'm the founder. I'm the visionary behind this entire thing. I know I didn't tell you all about myself because I always forget that part, but I'm a former trial lawyer. I am now a strategic advisor particularly for women who are ready to really build their expertise-driven businesses through speaking. So come on in. Meet me at the 6. Meet me at the 6. It is going to be an amazing time. I am working very hard behind the scenes, my team and I, to make sure that this is an experience that is unique and that it lives up to the hype of being the first of its kind ever trade show for the speaking industry. So please meet me at the 6. Please go to speakingindustryexpo.com. Decide how you want to fit into the ecosystem, where you fit in, and buy your ticket, sponsor, exhibit, speak on stage. Just give me a big hug, give me a thumbs up, clap for me, whatever it is that you need to do in order to let me know that you see it. You see me, you see what I'm trying to do, you see the shift that I am trying to create. And I know this, some of this may rub people the wrong way, but I'm okay with that. We have to create change. If we see something, it's not enough to say something. we have to do something. And the 6 is me doing something. So meet me at the 6th, November 3rd through the 5th in Atlanta, Georgia, speakingindustryexpo.com. I will see you there. All right. Take care.